Look, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by the sheer scale of managing massive server deployments spread all over the globe, you are exactly in the right place. Let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking Supermicro's SuperCloud Composer, and we're going to focus specifically on the PodView module to show you exactly how it can give you total, unwavering command over your hardware architecture. Welcome to the SuperCloud Composer environment. Think about it. Instead of drowning in dozens of spreadsheets and constantly hunting down random IP addresses, this platform is purposefully designed to bring absolute order to the chaos of unmanaged data centers. It gives you this highly visual, structured environment. It takes literally everything you have, whether it's sitting right at the edge of your network or in a massive facility miles away, and centralizes it all directly onto your screen. We've got a fantastic roadmap for today's tour. We're going to cover everything from the basic concepts of PodView, how to navigate the data center hierarchy, and checking out view mode, all the way to mastering edit mode, and finally building out your very own virtual rack. Let's kick things off with the big picture and establish the fundamental building blocks of this software. So, what actually is a POD in this context? You're going to hear this term a lot. In SuperCloud Composer, a POD is quite simply a physical collection of multiple racks. It's the absolute top-level container for your physical assets. By grouping your racks into pods, you instantly establish a high-level geographical or even functional boundary for your data center operations. It sets the stage for everything else we're about to do. Now, what's truly fascinating is how the software takes those massive physical structures and organizes them into a logical, super easy-to-navigate hierarchy. The navigation pane essentially visualizes this perfect tree structure. It cascades beautifully, like a funnel. It all starts up top with a discovery pool. Think of this as your waiting room for unassigned bare metal devices. From there, it branches down into your pods, then into functional groups of racks, down into individual racks, zooming even further into specific drawers or chassis until you finally land on a single specific appliance. It's a flawless funnel from the macro right down to the micro. Let's be honest, user manuals can sometimes feel like an endless, exhausting wall of technical jargon. So they've cleanly categorized the essential hardware using highly intuitive icons. You won't be reading blocks of text. You'll see clear visual identifiers for everything, from your classic compute nodes and specialized storage like JBOFs to network switches, power distribution units, or even specialized hardware like CDUs for liquid cooling and APAs for accelerator pools. Everything is instantly recognizable. All right, with our hierarchy locked in, let's step into the shoes of our security guard and see what view mode is all about. I love this analogy. Think of view mode exactly like a security guard stationed safely in a control tower. From this high-level vantage point, you can clearly monitor your default groups and your color-coded racks. You can safely check device counts, monitor system statuses, and search the whole tree, all without any risk of accidentally messing up critical configurations. The golden rule here is look but do not touch. It's a strictly non-editable environment built purely for gathering info and confirming system health. You can use the search function to hunt down a specific IP address or peek into your discovery and manual pools to see what new hardware is waiting for you. Crucially, this is also your early warning system. For example, if a node's BMC network connection drops, view mode will immediately throw up a caution message, flagging that the node is no longer reachable. And it is brilliantly frictionless to use. By simply hovering your cursor over a rack and clicking the little document-shaped detail icon, the software gives you instant access to vital metrics. You don't have to click through endless buried menus. You immediately see the rack location, the group name, and the total rack size. It is all about total, effortless visibility. To make sure you never get disoriented in the interface, just remember this core distinction. View mode is your security guard, watching the monitors and keeping things safe. Edit mode, on the other hand, is your architect standing at the drafting table. Edit mode is where the actual heavy lifting happens, the construction, the grouping, the dragging and dropping of your systems. It actually bridges the gap between abstract concepts and physical reality flawlessly. The software takes a simple hardware element, like a power distribution unit icon, and physically maps it into a comprehensive visual rack layout. You literally see exactly which U-space the hardware occupies on your screen, from U1 all the way up to U42 or beyond. Okay, so we can monitor our existing infrastructure beautifully, but that leaves a pretty massive question. how do we actually take those newly discovered bare metal systems sitting in our discovery pool and physically organize them into our racks? That brings us right into mastering edit mode, where you get to put on the architect's hard hat and take absolute control of your deployment. By simply clicking the blue pencil icon in the interface, you seamlessly leave the security desk behind and step right onto the construction site. This single click unlocks your ability to actively build, tweak, configure, and essentially sculpt your entire data center environment from scratch. Let's look at how this practically plays out on day one. This timeline represents a very typical setup workflow. It logically guides you from square one. First, letting the automated discovery agent populate your entry pool. Next, you create your logical groups. Then, you construct the virtual racks themselves. And finally, you allocate and assign those discovered systems right into their specific use space slots. It takes what used to be a massive, headache-inducing undertaking and turns it into a structured, highly manageable process. For our final section, we're going to zoom all the way into the microscopic level of the software and look at how we actually build that virtual rack. Once you're actually in edit mode, the true power of the software reveals itself. There's a drawer configuration wizard that lets you seamlessly pull systems from your entry pool and drop them right into their specific location within the rack. Whether you're dealing with a blade system, an ultra system, or a network switch, you literally assign it to the exact drawer location, like slot 13, for instance, so your virtual layout matches your physical data center perfectly. Now, what is the absolute biggest takeaway you should get from this explainer? It's the sheer flexibility this provides. You aren't just arbitrarily tossing servers into groups. You can logically tailor your physical architecture around the specific workloads your enterprise demands. Need to visualize a dedicated VMware server farm? Done. Segmenting a big data Hadoop cluster or a massive accelerator farm? You can group, color code, and manage every single one of them independently right within the same interface. Ultimately, SuperCloud Composer's PodView takes those abstract, easily lost IP addresses and transforms them into a highly interactive, visual map of your entire operation, which leaves us with a critical question to ponder. In an era where data centers are growing infinitely more complex by the day, can you really afford to keep managing your infrastructure blindly, or is it finally time to map the chaos?